it going here? Here's lick of the day number 19. This one is an A minor pentatonic alternate picking sequence. If you want tabs, you can find the link in the description below and also here on the screen. And as usual, I'm going to play through the entire thing slowly and then break it down. So we start here on the 17th fret of the high E string. Alright, so the first three notes will be 17, 20, 22, and the sequence would be 1, 2, 3, 1. Then we move that down to the next set of three notes, 15, 17, 20, same sequence, 1, 2, 3, 1. Move it down to the next three notes, 12, 15, 17. Now we change the sequence, so instead of going 1, 2, 3, 1, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. So basically up and back again. So a 5-note sequence. So we got 4 notes, and 5. And these are position shifts, not slides. So no, remove that sound if you can. So, and after that we go to 13, 15, 17. Sequence would be 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. Move it down to 10, 13, 15. Sequence would be 1, 2, 3, 1 again, so the 4-note sequence. Move it down again to 8, 10, 13. And now we got the 5-note sequence again. That one. And then from here we're gonna go to the G string and we're gonna play 7, 9, 12. And we're gonna use the same sequence we did here. 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. And then we go down to 7, 10, 12. Same sequence. And then we have exactly the same frets on the A string and same sequence. And finally we have 8, 10, 12, same sequence. We put all of this together. As far as practicing this, of course, work on the initial sequences. So we got basically 3 different sequences here. We have the 4-note one that you can move around the pentatonic as far down as you can stretch. And I wouldn't, do too much because you can really hurt your hand. So only go as slow as you feel comfortable. But do it on all strings, or you can even stay in one position like this. Or even do it maybe 2 positions. And so on. So you can basically come up with a lot of different variations here. So that's the initial thing. And then next, same thing there. You can just loop them or maybe even sit like this for a while. So you get used to that. And same thing with the 5-note sequence here. So it's basically just up to your imagination what you can do with these different sequences. And once you start feeling more comfortable, and actually while you're starting to get more comfortable with these, you should also practice the lick itself in its entirety. And what I like to do with longer licks like this is to choose a subdivision and then work through it by accenting each note. So if we do this in 16th notes, I would accent each one first. So I would go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on. Throughout the whole thing, and then I would play the entire. If I could do that, I'll do it again, but now I accent each 2. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and so on. And as you can see, it becomes quite confusing after a while, which is good. So you need to count, and you need to make sure that your foot is always on 1. Otherwise, you're not doing this exercise correctly. I know it's very easy to be like, nah, but it's easier to do it without the foot. Yes, exactly. So that's why you need to have the foot on 1. You need to know where your beat is the whole time. And even when you do this slowly, you can just manually put your foot down. So you go like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, because it kind of at that tempo is almost too slow to get this sort of automatic bouncy effect when you stomp your foot. So, but by putting the foot down on 1 each time, you're still going to get the feel of 4 notes per beat in this case. Then you can do the same thing with 6 notes per beat, 3 notes per beat, whatever you want to do. But the rule is you pick a subdivision, make sure your foot is on 1, and then you go through the entire thing and accent each note of each subdivision in turn. When you work on the accents, try not to overdo them. Try to keep them at a level that you would use musically. So maybe as a slight accent. But even better is like having almost like a mental accent. So the idea with the accent practice is that whatever note you're accenting with the, you know, throughout the whole lick, you want to feel whatever fingers on the accent and whatever pick stroke is on the accent a bit extra. Just really see in your mind's eye how these two connect even more. So it's not about going like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 really hard like that, because the idea is more being aware of what you're playing. Because sometimes when you learn something, it can just become you sort of forget what you're doing. But these accents, especially since they're going to fall in different places all the time, it's going to force you back to what you're actually doing. And that's what makes this practice tool work really well. So keep that in mind and don't overdo the accents. All right, that's about it for this one. If you have any questions, just post them below. Otherwise, hope you enjoy this one and see you in the next one.